At the beginning of the movie, we are introduced to Maggie, a young and beautiful woman in the United States. Despite holding a law degree, she's passionate about teaching children and works as a teacher. However, financial constraints push her to consider working in the legal field, so she attends a job interview at her father's law firm, though she doesn't have much hope of succeeding. Later, Maggie meets her friend Sarah at a restaurant. Sarah invites her on a leisure trip to Calpurnia. Feeling tired of her monotonous life and in need of a break, Maggie accepts the invitation. When Maggie returns home, her mother supports her decision to travel, believing the vacation will bring her joy and relaxation. However, Maggie's father is against the trip, urging her to cancel it and focus on her legal career so she can become a professional lawyer like him. He even offers to call the firm's manager to secure her the position without waiting for the results. Maggie, however, rejects her father's interference and insists on earning the job through her own efforts. In the end, Maggie's mother manages to convince her father to let Maggie take the European vacation before the results are announced. In another part of the story, we see Prince Adrian of the small kingdom of Calpurnia in southern Europe preparing for his coronation ceremony to take his late father's place as king. Adrian discusses the ceremony with his assistant, Felix. During breakfast with his mother, Queen Patricia, Adrian talks about the coronation festivities. His mother criticizes his reckless behavior, such as leaving the palace and partying with women, warning him that such actions are unbecoming of a king. Adrian, on the other hand, wants ordinary people to participate in the celebration, but the Queen disagrees, stating that such a move goes against royal traditions. In the next scene, we see Maggie and Sarah arriving in the kingdom of Calpurnia and walking through the town square. They enjoy exploring various sites and stop by a fountain. Sarah makes a wish and invites Maggie to join a tour group. However, Maggie prefers to explore alone and promises to return to the hotel in time for dinner with Sarah. While wandering, Maggie's hat is blown off by the wind. Adrian, riding a motorcycle, drives over it without paying attention. Later, however, he returns, picks up the hat, and leaves. This behavior annoys Maggie. Shortly after, Adrian brings the cleaned hat back to Maggie and even returns a watch he mistakenly took. Maggie is surprised by his actions and asks how he cleaned the hat. Adrian sarcastically replies that he used magic. In the end, they make peace. Adrian takes the opportunity to ask Maggie to meet him by the fountain that evening. As the coronation day approaches, Adrian continues to consider holding a public celebration and seeks the advice of the royal advisor. However, the advisor avoids giving a direct opinion, and it seems Adrian gives up on his idea. When Maggie returns to the hotel, she tells Sarah about what happened. Meanwhile, a little girl named Claudia enters the hotel and tries to sell Maggie a souvenir. One of the hotel staff attempts to kick Claudia out, accusing her of bothering the guests. Maggie defends Claudia, arguing with the hotel staff, and says she wants to buy the souvenir because she loves children. Initially, Maggie is hesitant about meeting Adrian that evening, but Sarah encourages her and accompanies her. After meeting Adrian, Sarah realizes he is a good person and leaves them alone. Maggie and Adrian decide to go to a cafe together. When they arrive at the cafe, the waiter is about to address Adrian as Your Highness, Prince, but Adrian gestures for him to treat him like an ordinary person in Maggie's presence to keep his identity a secret. Adrian and Maggie sit together, and during their conversation, Maggie talks about her father's pressure to become a lawyer. Adrian also admits that his mother puts a lot of pressure on him. Maggie shares her love for working with children, which surprises Adrian, as he also has a fondness for children. When Maggie asks about Adrian's family, he hides the truth and only says his family is involved in business. In the end, Adrian, who has grown fond of Maggie, asks to meet her again. The next morning, Maggie and Sarah are surprised to see a lavish breakfast brought to them by the hotel staff. The staff member gives Maggie a letter from Adrian, explaining that the breakfast was ordered by him. Maggie becomes curious about Adrian's true identity and suspects his family might own the hotel. However, the staff refuses to reveal Adrian's true identity and only says his family is good people. Adrian and Maggie meet again and stroll through the streets of the kingdom. They talk about their lives, and their bond grows closer. But suddenly, Felix, Adrian's assistant, calls and insists that he return to the palace immediately, forcing Adrian to leave Maggie. The next day, Maggie and Sarah visit a museum, and upon seeing photos of Adrian and his mother, they realize he is the prince of the kingdom. Maggie decides to investigate Adrian online and finds an article describing him as a bad boy who has deceived many women and pretended to be an ordinary person. Later, Maggie meets Adrian and tells him that she has discovered he is a prince. Adrian is shocked. Maggie is angry at Adrian for lying to her. Adrian tries to explain that his intention from the beginning was to let her know him as an ordinary person, but Maggie is not convinced and accuses him of being a womanizer. Adrian explains to Maggie that the rumors about him manipulating women are false. He asks Maggie to accompany him to a secret location where some children are staying. At this location, Adrian introduces Felix to Maggie and asks her to wait while he plays volleyball with the children. During this time, Felix tells Maggie that Adrian has established a foundation to help children, which has been kept a secret from everyone, even the royal family. While talking to Felix, Maggie realizes that Adrian spends most of his time helping children, and the article that portrayed him as a womanizer was misleading. Maggie meets Claudia, the little girl she had encountered at the hotel, and learns that she lives in the institution Adrian founded. Claudia talks to Maggie, explaining that she struggles to connect with the other children. Maggie encourages her, and Claudia finally gathers the courage to perform on stage and sing. This gesture from Maggie earns her even more respect from Adrian. Adrian invites Maggie to have dinner with him at the royal palace, saying he wants to show her what his life there is like. Meanwhile, Queen Patricia learns about her son's relationship with Maggie and orders her guards to keep an eye on Maggie and gather more information about her. After some hesitation, Maggie goes to the royal palace and meets Adrian there. Adrian introduces her to his mother. During dinner, Queen Patricia and other members of the royal family appear displeased with Maggie's presence, especially when she expresses her opinion about Adrian's idea of abandoning royal traditions and customs. After dinner, Queen Patricia asks Adrian to end his relationship with Maggie, but Adrian refuses and tells her that he loves Maggie and wants to spend his life with her. Adrian then goes to the hotel and asks Maggie to come outside. As they walk together and confess their love for one another, a journalist secretly takes their picture. The next day, photos of Maggie and Adrian appear on the front pages of newspapers, shocking the public. Queen Patricia, furious about the situation, starts plotting ways to ruin Adrian and Maggie's relationship. Maggie and Sarah decide to leave the hotel, but are surprised to find reporters waiting for Maggie. They quickly return to their room. Later, Maggie's father calls her and, having learned about her relationship with Adrian, insists that she return home immediately. Overwhelmed by everything that has happened, Maggie seems upset. At this point, she sees Adrian waiting for her in the hotel lobby. He asks her to spend a few days with him in Paris. Despite her feelings for him, Maggie declines Adrian's request. The next day, while Maggie and Sarah are preparing to leave, Maggie receives a call from a law firm informing her that she has been offered the job and needs to return to the United States. Maggie feels a mix of happiness and sadness. On one hand, she is glad to have secured a new job, but on the other, her love for Adrian and her desire to stay in the kingdom leave her heartbroken. She struggles with the decision of choosing between love and career. After much thought, Maggie decides to leave Adrian and pursue her legal career. This decision breaks Adrian's heart, and he makes no further effort to save their relationship. Before returning to her country, Maggie decides to visit the royal palace to speak with Adrian's mother about the foundation Adrian established for children. Queen Patricia, who initially believed Adrian was only interested in romantic relationships, learns the truth about her son's dedication to caring for children through his foundation. Moved by this revelation, the queen regrets her past behavior and asks Felix to take her to the Children's Foundation. After visiting the foundation, she gains a new understanding of her son and ultimately agrees to allow the public to attend Adrian's coronation celebration. As Maggie is packing her bags to return home, The hotel staff delivers her an invitation to Adrian's coronation. Maggie initially refuses to attend the event, but Sarah convinces her to accept the invitation. Meanwhile, Queen Patricia realizes how deeply hurt Adrian is by his separation from Maggie and decides to support her son completely. She resolves to stop pressuring him and to help him follow his own path. The Queen goes to Maggie at the hotel, apologizes for her previous behavior, and offers her a job in the Kingdom of Calpurnia, particularly in Adrian's Foundation for Children. Maggie is surprised by the offer, but ultimately decides to stay in the kingdom and work at the foundation, as she had always dreamed of working with children. In the next scene, Adrian is at his coronation ceremony, surrounded by the royal family and the common people who have been invited to the event. At this moment, Maggie arrives and Adrian, stunned by her beauty, looks into her eyes as Maggie smiles at him. Now officially crowned as king, Adrian expresses his happiness at her presence and asks if she plans to stay with him or return to her country. Maggie responds that she will stay by his side and formally announces that she has decided to work at his foundation, confessing her love for him. In the final moments of the film, Adrian decides to spend the rest of his life with Maggie, having found in her all the qualities of true love.
And that's where the story ends. Thank you for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more recaps like this. And check the suggested videos that YouTube thinks you will enjoy.